Tan is a writer who has been working non-stop for 2 days to complete his novel, under contract with a publishing company. He needs to send the manuscript over to the editor-in-chief by tomorrow morning, and he estimates that he will be done in 6 hours. Tan finds it difficult to write novels that can sell well, but he knows that he has no time to lose. He thinks about his mother and sister, who are always cheering him on, and continues to work on his computer. In a rush after meeting a deadline for his martial arts novel, Ha Jae-gun oversleeps and forgets about the Taseo University Creative Writing Alumni Gathering. His friend Park Yoon-jin reminds him over the phone, prompting Ha Jae-gun to hurry and prepare. Despite a cold shower and a rushed commute, he arrives at Pub Hippo in Sinchon before the appointed time. As he reminisces about old times, classmates greet him and tease him and Park Yoon-jin about their close friendship. The atmosphere is jovial until Oh Myung-hoon, a successful author, arrives, making Ha Jae-gun feel uncomfortable due to his recent achievements. Ha Jae-gun discloses that he's still writing, working on a martial arts novel, while Oh Myung-hoon's books are rumored to be adapted into a TV series. The evening progresses with conversations and drinks, showcasing the mixed feelings of success, nostalgia, and competition among former classmates pursuing different paths within their shared passion for writing.
At an alumni gathering, Ha Jae-gun, a fantasy writer, discusses his manuscript with Oh Myung-hoon, who questions the sustainability of writing full volumes monthly and relies on sales revenue. Park Yoon-jin intervenes, suspecting Oh Myung-hoon's motives for prying into Ha Jae-gun's affairs are related to Lee Soo-hee, a popular classmate working in game development. When Lee Soo-hee is unable to attend due to work, Oh Myung-hoon reveals he helped her write scenarios for a new game, garnering attention and praise from others at the table. Meanwhile, Park Yoon-jin and Ha Jae-gun escape the noisy atmosphere and discuss their dislike for Oh Myung-hoon. Ha Jae-gun reminisces about rejecting Lee Soo-hee's confession in college due to financial insecurities. As they continue drinking, Park Yoon-jin becomes upset upon seeing a photo of Hyo-jin and others enjoying wine with Oh Myung-hoon elsewhere. Ha Jae-gun receives a call from his editor regarding his draft, ending their conversation. Ha Jae-gun, a struggling author, receives a disheartening call from his editor regarding his new novel. The editor suggests that the story about a martial arts master transmigrating into a fantasy world as an artisan blacksmith lacks excitement and may not perform well in sales. Concerned about its potential failure, the editor proposes releasing it as an ebook first instead of a paperback with reduced guaranteed copies. Ha Jae-gun contemplates ending his writing career due to financial strain and low earnings from previous works. On his way home, he stumbles upon an abandoned grave on a hillside, where he fixes the tombstone out of sympathy. There he meets a lost cat named Rico, and discovers a mysterious carton box containing a laptop and other items, which sparks curiosity and marks a turning point in his otherwise bleak evening. Ha Jae-gun, a struggling writer with a hangover, stumbles upon a cat named Rika and decides to take her in for the night. After an unusual dream, where an elderly man advises him on writing, Ha Jae-gun wakes up with memories of this man, Seo Gun-woo, and his encounter with Rika flooding his mind. He discovers that Seo Gun-woo is buried near his house and realizes the memories are real. Following clues from these visions, Ha Jae-gun travels to Seo's Pyongyang to return Rika and Seo Gun-woo's belongings to the late author, as son, who coldly rejects them. Despite the son's reaction, Ha Jae-gun becomes determined to uncover the reason behind inheriting Seo Gun-woo's memories and the mystery surrounding his treatment of his father's grave. Ha Jae-gun discovers that the deceased old man Woo was a writer. The son reveals his disdain for his father and the writing life he led. He encounters the man's son, who discloses this information after an emotional exchange about returning keepsakes including a cat named Ricky. After gaining this knowledge, Gunn is left stunned, connecting it to the memories of the old man, transferred to him in a dream. Despite finding an outdated laptop with no useful information, Gunn gets engrossed in revising his own novel seemingly inspired by the late writer. Throughout the tale, Gunn interacts with his sister Jae-in, lying about working on a deadline to avoid her concern, while internally vowing to make progress in his writing career. Gunn spent 18 gross hours revising his novel, finally hitting the send button at 7 p.m. Realizing he had worked through the day without a break, he felt confident that his editor-chief would like the revised manuscript. After sending it off, he noticed his cat Ricky was hungry and ventured out to buy food. The expensive price of cat food reminded him of his financial struggles, but Gunn prioritized Ricky being. On his way back home, he received an unexpected call from the editor-chief, who praised the revisions and even suggested increasing the down payment. Overwhelmed with emotion and validation after years of writing without much success, Gunn cried tears of joy, holding Ricky tightly as he celebrated this significant milestone in his career. Gunn, a struggling writer, receives royalties for his published novel, alleviating his financial stress. Relieved, he decides to use the money to buy a birthday gift for his father, who has always been cold towards him. Arriving at his parents' home in Suwon, he discovers that his sister, Jae-in, is preparing a feast. Their parents are all hacking, despite their father's disapproval of his career choice. Gunn gives Jae-in an envelope containing 31 won for their father, knowing he wouldn't accept it directly. He shares news of his editor's praise and increased royalties with Jae-in, hoping things will soon improve. Overwhelmed by her brother's progress and generosity, Jae-in tearfully accepts the money for their father. As their parents return, their father's disdain for Gunn becomes apparent, leading Gunn to leave, determined to prove himself through his writing. Gunn, a novelist, experiences a frustrating blue screen on his old computer right after finishing his third novel's manuscript. Despite the temptation to buy a new one, he decides against it due to financial constraints, and opts for using an even older laptop belonging to Seo Gun-woo. As he begins work on his fourth volume, Gunn receives surprising news from his editor-in-chief. His latest book has sold out, prompting 1,000 more copies to be printed, and this unexpected success brings in substantial royalties, a major milestone in his 5-year writing career. And while elated, Gunn realizes that his typing speed has inexplicably increased, allowing him to write over 10,000 characters within an hour, a feat impossible before. Intrigued by this newfound ability, he contemplates finishing his next volume at an unprecedented pace. Gunn, a struggling author, aims to complete an entire novel volume in one day. His friend Park Hyun-jin encounters his latest martial arts novel at work when Section Chief Lee is engrossed in it. Surprised by its engaging content, and Park calls and shares the positive feedback. Learns that his novel is going into a reprint of 1,000 copies, signaling a potential turning point in his career. Meanwhile, he receives an unexpected call from Jung Gujian, department head of head media, who previously dismissed but now wants to reconnect due to the novel. As success, declines the offer and blocks Modia's number, determined to focus on his writing without their involvement.